Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 74 of Guess the Trade. That's where subscribers send in pictures of their loadouts. We take a look at those, and then we see if we can kind of guess what it is that we think that they do with that certain set of tools. Well, back in episode 73, we looked at Mario Flores. He had a U.S. General cart, very clean setup, very nice setup within that. And then he also had the Vito Pro Pack MB5B Blackout with lots of great tools inside there as well. Well, what is it that he did with those tools? He said that he is an industrial maintenance technician, and then he talked about several of the things that he did in his comment, but at the very bottom, he said that he worked for a milk processing company, and they primarily did powdered milk, powdered butter, things like that for Kroger's and all sorts of bigger stores. So that's what he did. I think what we were all between in our comments that it was either something to do with robots, which he said that he did, and then a lot of you were saying beverage company or something like that. So if you consider milk a beverage, although he did say he primarily dealt with powdered stuff, but some of you were very close in your guessing, so good guessing on that, and appreciate it, Mario, for you sending your loadout. Well, today we're also going to look at two loadouts. We're going to look at Gabriel M. I'm not even going to try to attempt that last name, and then also N. McLean. So we're going to look at both of those loadouts. One of them has a Knipex bag that we're going to look at. The other one has a ToughBuilt tote. Lots of tools we're going to look at, but again, the ultimate game is try to figure out what it is that they do with those tools. So the first loadout that we're going to look at is Gabriel M and his Knipex tote, but let's go ahead and jump into his tools. So first picture, we've got the Knipex tote again. I don't know that we've seen one of these on the channel. I think we saw some Vera stuff that's kind of similar to this, but I'm not sure about the Knipex. Next picture is just an up-close picture of that as well. We will see the tools inside of some pockets as we go through these, but he also pulls them all out, and we'll check them out at that time too. So I think I'm seeing some Klein there, also some Knipex. I'm not sure if that's Weiss or Klein on those scissors. Looks like some regular bit holders. I'm also seeing some Knipex handles up top, maybe some Milwaukee as well. So big bunch of different brands of tools. There we opened it up, so essentially it looks like it's got a sleeve inside of there. Looks like he's got a Knipex Cobra with a yellow handle, maybe. I don't know that I've seen those, but that does look like Knipex as far as the head of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is a Klein. Could be. Also the Klein drivers, Vera drivers, some Craftsman. It looks like a magnet, and then a couple ratchets. And then on the other side of that sleeve, looks like he's got some of those. I think they're called Mega Pro as far as those screwdrivers. I haven't tried those yet. That is something that a lot of you have recommended to me. I know sometimes a lot of those are ratcheting screwdrivers. And again, I'm just not a big fan of ratcheting screwdrivers, but many of you have said, hey, have you tried a Mega Pro screwdriver? I haven't done it yet. Maybe one day I'll get one of those. So he's got both of those hex keys. Looks like he's got the Makita sockets, some wrenches. Again, we're going to see all these in just a minute. So here is the bulk of all those things out. I think he does kind of go into quadrant some, but not on all of them. So we'll go ahead and zoom in here and go to the top left. So again, Makita sockets, talk about these almost every loadout. Perfect for bags. It seems like that's the case. A lot of people love them because we see them in all sorts of loadouts. Has that there. Also looks like he's got a couple of extensions for his ratchets. Those look like also tool ratchets. They are with scissors. Was thinking it was either that or Klein based on the coloring. And then he's got some vice grips there. The channel lock forge wire strippers. I'm curious if any of you have tried these. I did get an email or a comment from somebody saying that these were their #1 pair of strippers. They absolutely love them. They do kind of have that Knipex forge wire stripper look to them. So interested in anybody's feedback if they've used those. Drop that in the comments below. Also, a couple pairs of the Milwaukee made in the USA. We've got some diagonals and some needle nose. Also, again, those Mega Pro screwdrivers. He does zoom in on those a little closer. I remember seeing that. So we'll look and see what those bits are in a little bit. Channel lock, adjustable wrench. They make good ones of those. You can pick those up at your Menards if you have those locally. And then he's also got, let's see, those NWS as far as those ratchets there, or not ratchets, but wrenches there. I can't tell if that's NWS or if that's something else in there. It may not be NWS. It looks like NIUS, and I don't know if the first letter is something specific. So I'm not sure on the brand, but I do like the markings that he has. He's basically filled those in. Also put tape around them for his SAE and his metric. Knipex twin grips there. And then he's also got some, let's see, whatever this brand is, Oray tools. I think that's the same logo. It kind of looks like it over there on his wrenches as well, but I could be wrong. That was a Klein Cobra style tongue and groove pliers with the push button. That's the yellow handle. I think that maybe, let's see, those are made in Germany as well. So Klein tools, made in Germany. They look a lot like Knipex. I don't know that I've even seen these before, like in a local store. I don't know if those are sold locally in the US or if you had to order those. I've only really seen the alligator style at my local Lowe's, not the push button. So curious to get your feedback on that. He also has Knipex on the alligators right there in the 180 size, a pair of Knipex combination type pliers, magnetic pickup tool and a mirror, and then a Klein slotted, a Vera slotted, couple sets of hex keys on the gray tools. Again, that might be what those wrenches are, gray tools. And then over here is a sizer from Ulsa Tools as far as for sizing your nuts. And then also looks like a small mini ratchet. And there's that same brand, whatever that is. So is it Genius, maybe? So what that screwdriver is what those ratchets were. Again, he's going to get into a few of these things. So we'll zoom back out and then I'll move on to the next picture. Here are his Mega Pros, but one of them's actually a channel lock. So I didn't know that. I didn't know channel lock had that. So he's got one that is kind of a multi-bit. He looks like he's got one that is Torx and square, and then he's got one that's got hex. So one says original, one says hex, and then the channel lock looks like it's kind of a multi-bit as far as the bits that are within that. We'll move on to the next one. There's another rail that's got some hex keys on it also. So he's got those. And then here's his two ratchets. So he's got 1/4 inch Ulsa tools, and then also looks like a 3/8 as well. This is a different pouch, or I guess it's his pocket or his pouch that he wears on his belt maybe. Style and Craft, looks like the brand. Milwaukee adjustable wrench. Looks like a pair of Klein as far as the alligator style. I could be wrong on that. I'm just guessing that by the yellow handles. It could be something else because here's a yellow handle that's made in Japan. So they're probably, maybe that's a made in Japan pair because the head doesn't really look like Klein to me, but maybe they are. Also Klein dedicated Phillips and slotted, small little thermostat type screwdriver, and then a Vera Joker. I don't know if the picture looks like the picture might have glitched or something there. I don't think his tools actually broke, but looks like a 13 and a 10. Move on to the next one. So he's running M18 as far as his impact. He's also got a couple impact sockets, 10, 13, 17, and 19. Several extensions there, DeWalt tape measure, more sockets on a rail up top. I can't read what those are. Mega Pro non-contact voltage tester. I've not used that either. Also a pair of Klein needle nose. I can tell those are Klein by the logo. And then a Klein ratcheting stubby. Also a Klein meter, an MM 420. That's what he's got there. Moving on. So this is something from DeWalt. Actually, I know what this is because I've got this. It is a notepad holder with a calculator. I'm not sure. I think mine is the CLC Craft or CLC, whatever that is. But DeWalt and CLC both basically had the same backpacks, the same of this kind of stuff, all at the same time. Just different names on them, but they were the same exact thing. I think mine is the CLC version, but that is a DeWalt notepad. He's got that one there. Here is a couple other probably EDC type stuff. He's got a Leatherman, and I'm not a person to tell you the name of them. If I can read it here, maybe it looks like a rebar or something down there possibly. And then a buck knife. I remember back in my very first pocket knife that I ever owned or that was given to me as a kid was a buck knife. So I don't have it anymore, but I remember that name. Milwaukee 1505, really nice. That's probably my EDC at the moment. Olight light right there. So he's got all that, probably is his EDC. We'll go on to the next one. He did show me this toolbox. I don't know if I was supposed to get these pictures that were something to do with this, or if he's just showing us that he also has a toolbox to go along with his bag. But he's got some pry bars, some demolition hammers over there as well, some other wrenches, M18 grinder, a couple of the magnetic parts bowls, some levels. We don't get into the drawers itself, but it's a Mastercraft toolbox. Looks like he's also got a drill press over there and a bunch of belts in the background. Maybe those kinds of things will help as well. I think that is the last picture. Yeah, there's his name, Gabriel M again is what I'm saying. There's his toolbox. This is probably his EDC. There is his notebook right there from DeWalt. There's his main impact along with his meter and some other testing stuff. There's something else he might wear on his body. And then again, we're going to go back through all the tools. We'll get to that one picture. That way you can pause and zoom in if I missed anything there. I think I might have missed those regular bit rails over there on the far right. But again, here it is inside of that Knipex bag. Again, not seen one of these before. There's the outside of the bag, and then there's that very first picture. That's Gabriel M's Knipex bag. Again, with the loadout, lots of Klein, lots of Knipex, saw some Vera, other brands, also Tool, Genius, I think it was, Gray Tools, some tools that I didn't really know anything about, and lots of variations. And again, I've always said, typically, if you find the right tools that work for you all the time, there's no way that you typically always just run one brand, because one brand just doesn't carry everything that you need sometimes, or one brand makes a very good tool of something else, and then another brand makes a very good tool. It's a different type of tool, so you end up mixing them together. Over the course of time, you end up with a bag full of different brands a lot of times. So lots of different things there. Very great loadout. Interested to see what he says. He did tell me in his email, so I'm not going to guess on this one. So make sure and remember to guess down below what it is you think Gabriel M does with these tools out of his Knipex tote. Interested more than anything, Gabriel, what do you think about the Knipex tote? Never seen one in person. How well does it work out for you? Let us know that in the comments below. Well, number 2 on our loadout is going to be Mlan. He has a ToughBuilt tote, and I mean, it is jam-packed full. Lots of tools that we're going to look at and then see if we can figure out what it is that he does as well. But let's go ahead and jump into Mlan's tools. So first picture, again, it is a ToughBuilt tool tote. He also has a pouch there as well. And as I said, I mean, it is crammed full of tools. He's got lots of stuff in here that we're going to look at. He's also got the rigid drawers back there in the background. I don't remember that we go through those or anything, but he does have those in the back of his truck as well. Here's a top-down view. Again, we're going to see these tools. So we've got Klein. Looks like we've got some Milwaukee M12. I'm seeing also some other Milwaukee tools, hand tools, maybe some Knipex. I can't tell until we pull them out. Some ratchets. Looks like maybe the Icon set over here on the far left. Some WD-40. So we'll move on. So we're going to start by looking over here left to right. He's got them all out on his tailgate. I'll zoom in a little bit here and move down. We've got ox pencil, Sharpie, ink saw, and then another marker of some sort. That's a older pipe wrench for sure, kind of like an offset type head on there as well. Not sure on the brand on that one. Klein flip socket, little stubby with quite a thick handle on the adjustable wrench. And then he's got a couple of the Klein adjustable wrenches. Move down a little bit. We've got regular bit rails. He's got security flat heads in there, along with he's got a couple longer bits of Phillips. He's got the Vessel ratcheting driver that takes the different bits. That's one of them I haven't picked up yet. Small Klein thermostat screw, Klein stubby. Looks like that's the adjustable link stubby with the bit holding. Couple of the Milwaukee USA slotted and Phillips. Move over. We've got a Husky probably pick, and then also another flathead. He's got a Klein Impact 11-in-1. That's the ratcheting version. Let's see. That's an older screwdriver there. I can't read what brand that one is. A screw remaker, so maybe that's a tapping tool or something. Maybe we'll see that in a minute. Also these bit holders, Weehaw right there. Zoom out a little. A couple different things. So those are the kind of things, like a lot of people have got the railers. There's all sorts of ones on Amazon of those that hold bits that you can hang on a carabiner. Empire torpedo level Weehaw bit set with pretty much covers everything you need there. Moving back up, a set of hemostats. Also a Milwaukee made in the USA, kind of a stubby needle nose right there. He's also got the dull pipe gripping pliers, along with some probably Icon pliers wrench there. A couple more Klein screwdrivers. Those might be in the next picture. I'll zoom on out and we'll move over to the next one. Yeah, so we've got the Klein screwdrivers down here at the bottom. He's got the probably 20-in-1 or so. I don't know which handle that one is, but it's basically a adjustable with the flip socket in it with the bit holding. He's also got a adjustable or a bit holding one that holds bits on the backside in the handle, but also holds them on the end there as well. And then he's using the Vessel tang through. A very good handle. Again, it's one of my favorite handles by far, no matter if it's a dedicated screwdriver, one like this one where I can put anything in it. I just love the weight of them, and you can put so many things in it. He's got his metric flip socket in there. Cobalt pry bar, icon flex head as far as that small set there. Again, there is the Makita sockets, always almost in every bag I think we look at. They're definitely in more bags than they're not. Klein hex keys. I haven't picked up a set of the Klein hex keys. They've got these versions, and then they also have the colored versions as well. I haven't got any feedback from anybody on those. I always use my hex bits more than anything else. I very rarely even carry the keys like that, but interested in your feedback just because nobody's told me anything. Let me know what you think about the Kleins. Also, Milwaukee Fastback. Move up here to the pliers. It is actually a Knipex pliers wrench. I saw the dual other plier, and I thought maybe he was going to go the icon route. So he's got those in the 250s. He's also got the 200 Cobalt cutters, 250 Cobras, the smaller 160 on the twin grips. Also some locking pliers by Milwaukee. And then I'm not sure what the black handle ones below it are. Maybe those are Husky or something. He's also got the Wiss shears, same as the last loadout. Crescent adjustable tongue and groove pliers. I don't really care for... I don't know that I had the Crescent. I bought the gear wrench, but I think my buddy's got the Crescent, and I'm not a big fan of those. They're definitely not anywhere close to the Knipex Smart Grips that fully adjust. But you know, they're very cheap. They're inexpensive, so if they work for you, they work for you. I didn't care for them personally. And then it looks like he maybe has the Klein alligator ones over there on the far right. Let's see if I missed anything down through here. Looks like a punch. Also a ratchet, but I think those are going to be in the next picture. I don't think I've missed anything here. We'll move on to the next one, which is the far right. So we've got Knipex diagonals up there as well. I'm not sure what that green handle, that looks like maybe a Metabo something. Klein locking pliers. Then we get over here. Looks like, I don't know if that blue handled tool is a channel lock. I can't read the lettering on there. Also looks like some maybe spring clip tools, flush cuts, Klein wire strippers, crimper with a stripper as well. Older style pair of channel locks down there. Jorgensen as far as the chisel. Some cable ties, a painter's tool, putty knife. Let's see. I'm not sure if that's what's inside that little deal there. If that's pencil lead maybe. Could be something else. I'm not real sure. And I don't see the other end of that one tool that I was kind of curious of what that one tool over here is. And I still can't see the head of that like orangish colored acetate type screwdriver. I don't know exactly what that is. But we'll move on. So here we're getting into the power tools. He's got the M12 Impact running the high output. Also the M12 hammer drill. He's got a precision Milwaukee screwdriver set. It was a Metabo. That's that little 4-volt screwdriver. I am really curious about that. I actually saw that at my Lowe's the other day because I've been kind of looking at the Makita pins and all that kind of stuff, but I am curious. I've had pretty good luck with my Metabo tools, so let me know your feedback on this one, Noah. He's also got the M12 die grinder. That tool is phenomenal for door strike plates and stuff like that. If you need to get yourself a little more clearance, I've got a bit that I put in mine, and I mean, it just eats right through that stuff. Works great. I got mine on deal on Facebook for like $50 or something like that. He has that. He's also got a small Milwaukee bit case, Milwaukee tape measure. Next picture, Klein bag up there. Looks like he's got some sort of a multi something over there. I'm not real sure what those are. Maybe we'll see that. Looks like he's got pick set of some kind. So those all look like maybe it's a pick set of sorts that maybe he uses to get in places whenever he loses access, along with lots of keys. I don't know what the orange handle thing is up there either, but again, some of you may be in this realm of work and you may know exactly what some of those things are. We'll move on to the next one. There's his name in McLean. So again, looks like some stuff for picking locks and things like that. There are all his power tools that he uses. Then we're going to go through the hand tools again. 3 different pictures for all those. And then here it is. I mean, he's got it all in that tote. Snug as all get out. He is, again, running the rigid drawers back in the back. He's also got that ToughBuilt pouch up in the front that he's holding a lot of these tools in as well. And I think that's the first picture there. But that's in McLean's tools, in his ToughBuilt tool totes. I don't see those as much anymore in the store. I don't know if they still carry those. Maybe at Menards. Menards started carrying some ToughBuilt stuff. Kind of, it's all been phased out of my Lowe's. I don't know where you might would get one now. Along with the pouches, they're harder to find too, but a lot of people really love the ToughBuilt pouches and also their totes and stuff as well. And it looked like a very good setup. Tons of tools fit down inside of it. I'm curious about the Metabo 4-volt screwdriver. If you can let me know your feedback on that. But again, that's 2 loadouts today. We looked at Gabriel M and then also in Mlan. Lots of great tools, both really good bags. Don't forget to guess what it is you think both of them do down in the comments below. Hopefully you get something out of this. Maybe you saw a new tool that you didn't know about that you can go check out. Or again, you're just learning about how someone else sets up their tools. Maybe you can implement something like that as well. So hope it was helpful. Hope it was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.